Hey guys, Lou here from LT's Custom Woodworks. Today is the day that I'm back on the sofa table, and I'm going to be cutting the plywood in today and get that mounted. I also want to get this top mounted as well, and then I want to start on these X's and get this all buttoned up so I can get started on the end table for this. So I'm going to start off by cutting the plywood for the bottom first, and then we'll worry about this top and then take care of everything else from there. So I'm going to cut this piece at 11 3/4. I'm going to pocket hole screw the plywood to the bottom from underneath. You won't see the screw holes or anything, which will work out great. So I'm just going to drive my I will do the same to the other side. So the way I usually do these plywoods is I just drive them from the back side, and then I'll clamp it, and that will be my stop. I'll just use these clamps. And I will drive 1 1/4" screws into place from underneath. This weekend was a good weekend. Got a lot done. A little bit done in the house. A little bit done in the yard. And I got a little bit done in here as well. They came and picked up the coffee table. And that is that. Let's take a look here. We'll stand this up. This one here has to go down just a touch. So I will back up this screw a little bit and see what's going on there. Absolutely fantastic. Holy shit, and splitting titties, Batman. We are banging on all cylinders today. I am, for this top, I'm just going to, I'm not going to flip it upside down to secure this. I'm just going to clamp it down. This is the other way that I was talking about before. So I'm going to measure my 1 inch all the way around. I'll mark it with, actually it is done here already. So we're good. Maybe I lied. We got one here. And we got one here. This is perfect. So I will clamp this down. And the way I will do this is just use these clamps here. Make sure that it's lined up on these marks. And then I'll drive some 3-inch screws. And I'll put about 4 per side, and we are kicking it. Now you can run a couple of screws on the sides, but you don't have to because it's only 16 inches deep, so it's not like you need it. We are going to cut for these X's. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Well, I'm going to use 3/4 inch. Like this can be 1. I'm going to cut these extra bigger, so we're going to go 30 inches is fine. Give or take. Now how wide we're going to go, that's another deal in itself. Let's see. So I'm going to rip these down because these are just, it's too wide. These are a little too wide. I'm going to rip them down to a more better, so it looks better on the table for the size it is. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to try 2 inch. Right now this is 2 3/4. I'm going to bring it down to 2 inches and see how that's going to work out. And then we'll go from there. If I got to trim it down again, that's not a problem. And I think that will work out pretty good. I think it's a good size. So we'll leave it at that. I will line these up on these 2 corners and mark the back side. And I'll do the same thing to the other one. We are going to cut 2 more like these for the other side. This thing just, it fits in there nicely. And we're going to make 2 more for that side, and then we can start making our mark in the middle. We're going to hog it down halfway and interlock them. So I will cut the other 2. Okay, now that I got these cut, I'm going to move these in here like that. Bring these in. And then I will mark on this side And you have to do both sides because you're cutting halfway into both of these. So it's always good to mark the both sides. I'll do the same thing to the other side here. So I'm going to use my little jig here. Basically, you can take this with any board size. As long as you take these pins on the sides here and twist it, you're going to get right in the middle. I will set my depth on my saw and we'll go from there. We'll see how we did. We'll put this together here. Look at that. That is perfect. So what I'll do after is I'll glue this together. I will glue the top and bottom, pin them in place, and bingo bango, Bob's your uncle, Christine's your aunt, and Bill's your sister. Worked out perfect. So I'll take care of the other one, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to glue these in place and pin them down. I'm not going to put a pin in the middle. I'm just going to glue it and that should be fine, but I will pin it on the top and bottoms. So I'll put a little bit of glue here. And I will glue it on both sides here just for... just for the hell of it. And I will put a little bit on here. And then I will pin these in place in all four corners. Okay, so the sofa table is all done, ready to go, ready for a sand, prime, and paint. That's being white. Today I'm starting on the end tables. There's one end table. This one is going to be 2 feet long, 8 inches deep by 28 inches in height. So I'm going to start off by cutting the top to the size I need. And then I'm going to start by cutting the legs after that. I'm going to router off the edges. And there you go. This is looking good. So I'm going to take the square here. I'm just going to mark 1 inch all the way around. And that's the starting point for where the legs are going to sit. Bingo, bango. I'm going to cut the legs now. I'm going to take the 2x6s. I'm going to make the legs the same as this. Maybe a little bit smaller to accommodate the size of this top. I have this sitting at 2.5. I'll make them 2 inches by 26 3/4, because the table height is 28 inches. So I will cut this. And I will cut. I have another one here. And I need a total of 4. So I'll rip the size first, I'm assuming. Yeah, this is 2 inches, so this might work out perfect. And it will. So, 2 inches it is. Okay, I'm going to cut these to length. And I'm going to set up my stock to 26 3/4. So, that way we get our 28. I'm going to line these up on the inside of this mark here, and that's going to tell me what my rails are going to be. So we're going to need 2 of them. They're going to be 18 inches. 4 at 18 inches. And then 3 3/8, 4 at 3 3/8. Now before I cut these pieces, what I should have did was, when they were still intact, I should have routed all the edges and then cut it. So now that this is so small, I might not be able to use the hand router. I might have to use the table, the router table for this. So we'll see. In the meantime, I'm going to start to router these edges up and go from there. And this is good as gold. Good as gold, man. So I'm going to grab some screws here. Should work. I'm just going to clamp this down just to hold it in place while I drive a screw in. And this, my friends, is too small for the front clamp. I will use this one. This is just basically so I can drive this in, no issues. One there, we should be ready to rock and roll, man. Two on each side should be plenty. I don't think we need more than that. I'm on the line here. We are good. I will flip this around. Do the same. plywood on the bottom for the shelf. Give this a bit of a sand, and that is it. I'm going to cut this plywood out, mount it in place, and then we're going to have to, I'm going to text the customer. I'll send her a picture. Does she want to put an X in between or leave it out? That's what I'm going to find out, if she wants to do that or not. I am not sure, because it is pretty small, as you see. You don't have a lot of room there. So by putting an X in the middle, I don't know if it might look too cluttered. I'm gonna double check with her first, just in case she might turn around and say, you know what, it's gonna look too cluttered, don't do it. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll get this set up here. Same thing to this side. Maybe I'll get one in the middle first. Now the only thing I'm waiting on is basically the X's on the, do we put them here or do we leave them? And that's the question that I need to ask. I'm just waiting for her to reply back, but other than that, that is pretty much ready to go. To me, I think the X's might look too cluttered in such a small, it's a 3.5 inch piece, 3.25 inch. So I would leave that. I have it here on the bigger table, which is fine and dandy, but on this bottom one here, it might look too cluttered. So I'm going to wait and see what they say and go from there. I'm going to cut it off here for now until I hear back from the customer on the whether she wants to put X's on those sides or not. I think it's going to look a little too cluttered in such a small space. It's like 3 and 3/8. I have it here on the bigger table, which looks great. Until then, I'll wait to see what she says. Other than that, tomorrow is another day continuation with this. In the meantime, I got some other projects that I got to get started here. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.